does my prompt answer all these questions? That's the first thing you need to check, and then say, you will see amazing results.
Welcome back to Take It Online, where we dive deep into workplace dynamics, exploring how culture shapes the happiness and productivity of employees. I'm your host, Britton Wells, partner and organizational culture advisor of an AI product company in the organizational development space called the Happy Employees. We support executives, CEOs, and HR professionals to establish or reestablish positive, productive, high-performing, and happy work environments. On our podcast, some of the topics will be culture-focused, some will be AI-focused, and some will be focused on how the two intersect. We hope you finish each episode having laughed a little, learned at least a little, and excited to tune into the next episode. If you enjoy our episode, please like, subscribe, and share with your friends and colleagues. Okay, so we're here today to talk about AI, and specifically talking about, given how fast AI is expanding, there are a lot of people out there that lack the basic knowledge that really kind of is essential for how to effectively use these user-facing AI products, right? We're not talking about the ones that you are creating another AI product out of, but your ChatGPT, your Claude, your Gemini. And a huge part of that is really what you ask of this AI product and then how you respond to it, right? How you kind of integrate with it and how you train it to talk to you the way that you want to be talked to. I'm certainly no expert in this. I do feel like probably due to your influence, I'm getting a little better. But I'm excited to hear what your thoughts are on this today.
Yeah, that's an amazing topic, Britton, because I feel like AI is definitely taking over. There's a lot of anxiety around AI, and there's definitely an area where we could think like AI for tech developers, Python developers, the people who are in the backend or product building perspective, their perception and their understanding of AI is way too advanced, and they have to be in that way because they are developing these AI models. But there is other set of people who are the consumers of this AI, right? We are the consumers of the AI. We are not the coders. We are not the developers, but we are the ones who have to consume the products that they are building. And we have to be the interactive. We are changing our lives with this AI. So from the consuming aspects of where we are on the other end of AI development, how do we perceive AI, right? How do you think about AI, how you have to interact with it? All of that are great questions. And today, actually, I want to explain in a little bit more in detail for our listeners and also for you, we could have like a very friendly conversation here on how you can think or how you can improve your prompting. The idea of you interacting with AI is called prompting. That's a term that now it became very common. We are using it. But what does that prompting mean? Let's just go in detail.
So kind of before we dive deep specifically into prompting, are there particular topics or themes that you would recommend someone who plans to use AI even infrequently, but especially if you plan to use it more frequently? Are there topics or themes that people should really spend some time learning prior to using it on any regular type of basis?
Yes. And the first thing I would say is there's no single job or not single person who can say that, oh, I don't use AI. I don't need to have AI knowledge. We are not in that world. Every single person is influenced and have to have this basic AI education. So first suggestion is coming out of the thought that this is not going to impact me or I'm not going to use AI. This is not for me. That idea has to be removed. Everyone needs AI education and everyone needs to understand. Acknowledging that need itself is a first great step. Like you need to learn AI. And then the second thing we all need to understand is what part of AI you have to learn, right? How AI is going to influence you in your personal life and in your professional life. When I'm saying in your professional life, is it going to be completely replacing some of your job responsibilities? If there is some redundancy in your work, is it going to replace it or is it going to enhance it? Versus, is your job description or your job responsibility are completely going to change? Is it going to make you go advanced? Like, are you going to become an advanced person or completely replace what you are trying to do? So understanding that also helps us to know what type of skill sets you need for the AI. But irrespective of whatever the position you are or where you are, the starting step for anyone to understand AI is to know what the basic terminologies are, like what a model means, what a product is, and when we are talking about Gen AI, what does that mean? Gen AI is generative AI, right? The ability of an AI to generate new content. So having this level of basic knowledge, like understanding the underlying fundamentals, is important. So I would always ask everyone to start with that. Understand what a model means. How is a model built? Built is what type of data it's used to build. And then what is that AI learning? How is it learning? When AI is trying to respond to you, it means it's been trained. The training itself is called learning. What type of data it's been learning and how does it respond to you? Like what are the capabilities of that particular AI? Whether it's going to completely write a code for you or whether it's going to create an image for you or write content or maybe do some analysis, you need to know, understand the capabilities of AI too. So these are like first four steps, right? Understanding the basic knowledge of what the models are, how they are developed, what type of training or what type of learnings are done for that AI, and what the capability of AI is.
So, on kind of a macro level, how would you say that the regular person, whether it's in their professional life or their personal life, can engage with AI effectively?
Yeah. So engaging with AI, always think AI as your assistant. AI is someone that is there to help you or do something that you are going to ask that particular machine or that particular intelligent machine to do something. And the way you are going to talk, there are no words, right? There's not a single language, like it's not a structured language that has been said. The way that you're going to interact with that AI is called the prompting. Now let's go think about it as basic knowledge, like not even in that technical way, not even in AI technical way. Let's just think about response prompting procedures, right? In behavior, like you are from behavior background, you know about this. What is a response prompting procedures are? These are the techniques that you enforce, or the way, the language that you use and the sentence structure that you use to enable certain kind of behavior of your people around you. Right? You try to use this strategic, very systematic procedures or a framework of your sentences or of your words to enable the probability of correct response from that particular person, whether it's a child or whether it's your husband or whether it's your friend.
I would never use behavior analysis on my husband.
You being I saw that, okay. Yeah, like this is a very basic terminology that we have been using in our regular life, right? It's a response prompting, and the main purpose of it is to increase the probability of getting correct response. That means the way you want that person to behave depends upon how you are able to actually communicate, how you are able to structure it. Same thing applies in the AI. Its prompting is exactly that. How you are going to structure your instructions to this machine so that the machine can process and give you exactly that positive probability or the responses exactly the way you want. So the way you have to think always about AI is think as a person. That makes it simple. That makes it simple when you're processing your thought process. How do you talk to your friend? How do you talk to a child? Rather than as a friend, like, I would always treat AI like you're talking to a teenager. How specifically you talk to a teenager? Like, how do you give an instructions? Will you say, just go and read? No, you'll say, go upstairs, lock your door, put your phone down, open your book and read. You're very specific. Like, what do you want your child to do? You're very specific. You want that person to go upstairs, turn off their phone, pick up a book, and start reading without any disturbance. This naturally happens to you because you know the way you can engage with your child. So think AI always as a teenager. You want to be very specific in your instructions and the way you are structuring the requirements of what you want AI to do. That itself is called prompt engineering. So I would also, to make it much easier, right? I would also think about it in this way. I always structure it in this way. So that's what I want to share with you too. So you always need to know how you want AI to behave. That's your first question. As who? This is my abbreviation, right? As who? How do you want AI to behave? As an architect, as an advisor, as an analyst, or as a photographer, professional advisor, professional content writer? You want AI to behave in certain way to get your work done. Like, for example, you want to write a blog, right? You want to write a blog on how to enforce a child to do some work, like about your behavior analyst. So in that scenario, you want AI to behave like a certified behavior analyst, right? That's your first thing. So you first need to decide as who. So the next second instruction you have to think for AI is to whom. Who are you going to address this? Again, in this example, if it's a blog, who do you want people to read? Or whether it's like you're writing a code, to whom, like to do the analysis, right? You always interact with AI with some purpose and to also address with certain population or certain people, like you have a target or users there. So think about to whom. Who is this going to refer to? And you have to specify that. This is going to be reached to XYZ. That is your second instruction. Then you should always think about from what. From what is on what basis you want AI to refer this information. So you're giving some kind of context. Hey, write a blog on XYZ. You're giving some information there, right? So that context is important. So you're reiterating AI saying that go read from this resource, or read from my above paragraph, or read from my blog, or read from this context. So you're referring from what AI has to base that information on, or has to follow your instructions.
Yeah, where they should dive their data from.
Yeah. Yes, and that's the information. So that is from what? Whether it's something that you are giving from yourself. Hey, rephrase my blog into a poem. In that scenario, you are rephrasing a content, like you're giving a paragraph. That paragraph is from what? You're telling them, take the information from the paragraph that I gave you and then rewrite into a poem, like in this way. So from what is always important. If you don't specify from what, think about AI is super knowledgeable. It has so much of data. It can be a doctor, it can be an engineer, it has like all that resources at a time. And if you're framing a sentence and if you're not giving that context clearly from what it has to get the information, you'll get a very generalized information. Like you don't get very specific data, like you don't get that specific context that you're looking for. So always have to refer from what. The next instruction is to what. What do you want AI to give you the output? What output are you looking for? Whether it's like writing a code or writing a description or regenerating any new content, some kind of information, whatever it is. It's like a query. You want AI to give you an answer for it. You want AI to do some analysis. What is that you want AI to do? That is a clear cut instruction that you need to do. And the next one is how to. How do you want that output? Whether you want in bullet points, whether you want in a table format, whether you want as a chart, whether you want as a graph, whatever that output that you are expecting AI to do, that is what the next instruction should be, how to. So in this how to, you can also think about it in terms of the representation of your output, whether it's in table, paragraph, like I've been explaining, or you could also think in terms of how do you want AI to respond to you in terms of your tone, in terms of a personality. Whether you want AI to give you a poem, how do you want that poem to be? Maybe sounding like Sherlock Holmes, or, you know, think about how you want. Or if you are writing a letter, maybe you want AI to give you the output in a more professional tone. Or whether you're chatting with Nicole and you want AI to rephrase some of your content, you want to be a little bit quirky. So you'll specify AI how you want AI to respond. So how to is the output format, and also about the personality, the tone, behave like certain person or respond like this certain person and give me the output in that way. So that would be the output. So if you structure all of these instructions that I said, right? Starting from to starting from as who, how do you want AI to behave? Second is to who are you addressing this, like for whatever the work that you want AI to do, to whom are you actually addressing it? Then third instruction is from what information or from what context you want AI to get that information from. And then to what, how do you want AI to give you the output, and what output you want AI to give you. And then how do you want the AI to provide you the output in terms of personality, the format, and everything. So this is how you think first before even you start on writing your prompt. So prompt have to be structured in this way.
So
So the easy way for you.
let me make sure I'm going to summarize it back for you. So let me make sure that I am understanding it clearly. So first you need to indicate, I need my AI assistant to generate what I'm about to ask from some perspective, the who, as who, right? I need it from this perspective, whether it's a behavior analyst, whether it's a data scientist, whether it's someone in marketing, whatever, fill in your own personal blank there. And then additionally, you need to not only say, this is the perspective this needs to come from, but this is who is going to be receiving this information. This is the audience that I need AI to be gearing this information towards. And then from what? So where do you expect the AI, your AI assistant, to gather this information that you're expecting them to gather to formulate this output for you? And then to what? So what do you want it to turn into? What do you want AI to turn this information into for you? How to do it? How to format the output, what it should look like, whether it's visual, whether it's in paragraph, letter, bullet points, as well as what should the overall tone sound like, and what should the personality feel like when the reader is reading it, the consumer is consuming it. Is that correct?
That's perfect. You got it. That's a very good way to summarize it, Bridget.
I'm a good student.
You are A1. So once you have all these instructions in your mind, it will always help you when you're structuring your instructions, which we call as prompts, and you can always recheck whether your prompt is good. So start practicing it, right? When you're on ChatGPT, or whether you're on Claude, or any other product that you're actually using. There's a lot of products that have, and every product in the background has a prompt. There is a prompt that's working in the background. So when you start writing it, you question it. Hey, do I have all these? Does my prompt answer all these questions? That's the first thing you need to check, and then say, you will see an amazing result.
Join me, Britton Wells, and the rest of us at the Happy Employees as we embark on this exploration of Take It Online. Whether you're an HR professional, a business leader, or simply curious about what makes great workplaces tick, this podcast is for you. Thank you for tuning in to our latest episode. Until our next episode, remember, a positive culture is not just a goal, it's a journey. Taking it offline hides feedback and stifles progress. Keep it open. Take it online.